Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Get going here in a moment, friends. I'm speechless right now. What I'm about to show you is going to break your heart. Hold on, let's get the Facebook fired up. What in the world, friends? I'm at a. Oh my goodness, friends. This is going to break your heart. What you're about to see. Hold on, let's get the Facebook fired up. Facebook, good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. Friends, it's Ronnie Messer. You know, I'm a real man, Ronnie Messer. The ministries, the Grizzly Army Ministries. Friends, we got a community work party this Saturday. We're partnering up with the Brandon Roots. They're a great group of folks. They like to get out and get the job done. And Rob, I got the gem of all gems for both our organizations. A project that, friends, I don't do none of this for the likes or the views. I do it because literally, friends, when I say there ain't nobody, friends, when I say there ain't nobody to get the damn job done, I mean, I'm about to show you, friends. Friends, we're in Riverview, Florida right now, and I was doing my duties in the morning, friends. I was making a list. I told you my task. You know, Rob and his organization, the Brandon Roots, they got their mission objectives and they got their things that they're trying to accomplish. But for me, Ronnie Messer, the Sergeant Major Grizzle Grits, the whole Grizzly Army, our ministries, our task is to get every veteran's headstone in Hillsborough County. And I was making a list today of all the cemeteries. Friends, there's a lot. It might be 10,000 headstones. We may have to adjust our suspense date, but I would like to at least get a good chunk of it squared away before the end of the year. Friends, I'm out in Riverview right now, and 30 years ago, this was nothing but cow pastures out here. A lot of cow pastures. And there's a cemetery we're about to walk in right now. I think it's called the Samford. It's an old one, friends. And then, friends, it's hard for me to even look in there right now. It's behind me right here. But these developers in this area, all these developers, they come down to Florida, they come down here to Tampa, and they just buy up all the farmland, and then they just build homes, friends. Right over here is a neighborhood. Those are homes right there. And when I was doing my site recon on Google Maps, there's homes all over the place. But this is a cemetery, so they couldn't get the cemetery. I'm sure they would have loved to just bulldoze it over, like in the movie The Poltergeist, friends. Remember, it didn't work out too well for those developers. They had the skeletons popping out of the pool, and a lot of evil. But friends, I'm putting together a list, and I'm gonna put the list on the I'm gonna put the list. We're gonna publish the list, everybody. Because, friends, this ain't just my task. This is all of our tasks as a community. I'm just spearheading it, you know. But, friends, this cemetery, I think it's called Samford with an M, Samford. It's old, friends. And somebody this about a year ago. But again, this is when I was still learning. And I was like, well, I don't want no trouble. I don't want to go out there and get no trouble. Well, friends, you deal with some of this incompetent deputies and sheriffs in this county, and then you lose the fear, friends. You go spend a couple of days in the county jail, and then you lose the fear, friends. I'm not breaking any laws. Friends, there's veterans buried behind me over here, and they've been forgotten about. So I dare one of y'all incompetent DEI soldiers come out here and say something to me. Because I'll put you at the position of attention, and I'll dress your butt down. Then I'll call for your supervisor, and I'll dress their butts down. I'm kidding, friends. I'm trying to get along with the sheriff, because I heard we got a new sheriff coming in town. That Cronkster's on his way out. Friends, this cemetery behind us is over 100 years old. A little bit of information, and it's small, friends. Friends, it's probably one or 2 acres. It's tiny. It's not big. But this lady had wrote she made a website about it, friends. Go look it up. Samford. I think that's how you pronounce it. Right here in Riverview, friends. The interstate's right over there. Boyette's right here, Boyette Road. There's a new movie theater. Oh, friends, hold on. Let me grab my mic. Hold on, friends, please. All right, hold on, everybody. Hold on. We're gonna give. I got two live streams going on here, so we'll. But anyway, Sampton, and this lady created a website that had, I can't believe it. She like basically has everybody that's buried in there on there and what's on their headstone. And friends, guess what I found? That's right, everybody. There's veterans in there. Hold on. Okay. Hello, mic check. Friends, I would always see the YouTubers with this little fuzzy thing, and I'm like, wow, that's so girly and goofy looking. But friends, it works. Let's clip it on, everyone. I'm gonna take you in here, but I must prepare you. Friends, if you're driving, pull over. You're gonna have some waterworks because this is depressing, friends. This is like out of a horror movie, friends, but not for long, friends. We're gonna get to work. But friends, like I'm trying to tell you, we're about to walk in here. We're gonna get a work party, friends. I think we're gonna do it next Saturday. The way that I am working this effort, the operation No Veterans Headstone Left Behind. Well, friends, it's just like in the military. We're gonna go by. This is gonna be a priority, friends. It ain't that far from Brandon. Right out here in Riverview. I'm literally 15 minutes from my house, maybe 20. But this place has been forgotten about, friends. And there ain't nobody. I mean, absolutely nobody to take care of it. It looks like someone's been dumping trash. Or it looks like somebody picked up some trash. I don't know, friends. We're about to go take a look. But there's trees down. There's headstones forgotten. And friends, there's sneaking veterans in here. I mean, my soldiers are buried in here. Friends, if you want to help out with this effort, I need you to get on board. You know, send me a message, friends. Go to my website. I got a phone number. Don't call me now because I'm doing a live stream on my personal phone and on my work phone. But friends, there ain't nobody in charge of this place. Friends, there ain't absolutely nobody in charge of this place. I mean, somebody owns the property. But these perverted, these developers were not able to get their hands on it. And there's some older homes right behind over here. And we're on a dead-end street. So friends, without further ado, let's roll. Hold on, let me just check these comments real quick. Well, yeah, it looks nice. Wait till we get in there. All right, everyone. All right, let's see if I can do this. Okay, I got two live streams. All right, friends, we're going. So, friends, here's the gate. There's not even a lock on it. So anybody could just come out here and have a party or do evil. But look, friends, let me just show you real quick. We're on a dead-end road. I'm not really concerned about that pile of limbs right there, friends. But it would be nice to get it out of here. But we're on a dead-end road, and here's the neighborhood, friends. There's the neighborhood right there. Ain't that nice, all the developers? See, somebody came out here and did a police call, and they just left all the trash right there. How sad, friends. I mean, this really gets me down. Now, friends, I'm walking this cemetery with y'all. I have not ventured out here yet. I literally was getting the live stream going. This is sad, friends. There's veterans out here somewhere. Be careful. I don't want to fall in the hole. Look, here's some graves. You can't even read them. Oh, wow. Janine. Look at that, friends. Is that a broom? This lady must have been a janitor. There's a broom right there. Oh, wow. This is literally the worst one that I've ever come across. This tree here has, why the hell's there brooms out here? Maybe these ladies were custodial workers. I don't know, friends. I don't know a lot about the cemetery, but I'm seeing a lot of Spanish names, a lot of, friends, this might be, I've seen a lot of Catholic stuff, but it don't matter, everybody. You know, this is forgotten about. Look at all this. We got to get all this out here, friends. We got to come out here, trim up these, get all this trimmed away. But I saw on her little website, whoever this lady was, there's a handful of veterans buried out here. Oh my goodness. Wow, how sad, huh? We're doing our initial site recon right now. This is what this is all about. Freemasons out here, okay. So this was a family plot, it looks like. They got the whole, look friends, they got the nice border, the marble. Looks like it goes to length. 1997. Here's a little child over here, Hernandez. Tom Siders. Anybody knew him? Oh, here's another memorial grave. 2001. Little child right there. That's sad. 12 years old. I see Barney the dinosaur on there, friends. Look at Barney. Y'all see Barney? Sometimes people put things in the trees, you know. Friends, we're gonna put a work party together out here. I need your butts out here, friends. Riverview, Florida. We may do this next weekend. Look, friends, I don't want to be judgy, but when y'all bring the alcohol out here, when you bring the alcohol, your loved ones don't want you doing the drinking because either they're off with Jesus for eternity, and I'm sure they definitely don't. I know they don't do that up in heaven, or they're in the eternal fire, you know. Oh my goodness, this one's gonna need a lot of work, but I know it's something that we can do. I mean, we can come out here and pick all these sticks up, drag them out, straighten up some of these headstones. Holy smokes, friends, this guy's got guns on his headstones. Wow, what a gangster. Friends, are you looking at this right? I mean, I told you, friends, you never know what you're gonna find out here. There's a lot of Hispanic folks out here that are buried, you know. But I can't find anybody. I couldn't find a number. I couldn't find nothing. And here we go, friends. Here we go. I told you. I stinking told you. There's my soldier. Garcia, friends, I told you, this is like a Hispanic cemetery. We're going to get him squared away today. There's one, and I know I saw a whole bunch. Friends, look at this. I mean, this is... You just never know what you're going to come across out here, friends. You just never know. Wow, this is... So I found one of the veterans, and there's many more. This looks like another one over here because I see a lot of flags. Friends, what do y'all think? This is pretty sad, huh? I mean, this is literally right here in our community. They got the developers over there. Our beloved angel, beloved son. Got American flags. Oh, good grief. There's one way back in here. Friends, I don't want to fall in a hole. That'd be horrible. But look, there's an obelisk. Is that what we call it? Friends, I'm literally out in the field. I feel like friends, I feel like I'm doing land nav at Camp Landing. I'm definitely not in a cemetery. I'm looking for my points. Oh my gosh, friends, this is sad. This is very sad. Look at this. Look, friends, there's a grave. There's like graves right here. Friends, dear Lord Jesus, please, I love all your critters and creatures, but I do not want to encounter one of your snakes today. Please, Lord, just have them all shuffle away. Get on out of here, friends. I don't like snakes. I do not like the snakes. I had a real bad encounter with a rattlesnake at Camp Blanding. Not Camp Blanding, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. This is sad, friends. Friends, there's people in here. Well, this is kind of... Friends, what in the heck is this? There we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for right there, friends. Y'all see what I see? I see a government marker, a government headstone right there, friends. I know y'all see it. Korea veteran. Vieira Elizabeth Mobley. We got some work to do, soldiers. We got some stinking work to do. But this is what I live for, friends. Friends, when I was doing my recon this morning trying to find these other cemeteries, I forgot all about this one. We got to come out here and get this tree trimmed up. Friends, this is going to be a full, this might be a couple of day work party. That's 2 soldiers I found. I know there's a handful more out here. But when we get busy with life, oh my goodness, look at that one right there. Another soldier forgotten about. But it looks like somebody's come out here and cleaned it up a little bit. Charles Hall. Charles Hall, friends. World War II, Tech Sergeant, E5. And right next to him here is a child. Oh my Lord Jesus. Friends, all... hold on now. Friends, am I reading that right? Jennifer, Linda, Stephanie, they all died on the same day, friends. Oh my goodness, friends. Holy crap. This must have been a car crash. 1982. So that child was 12 years old. The other one was 11. Oh my gosh, friends. This is horrible, friends. This is sad. I mean, look, friends, I'm going to be honest with you. When you come out and do these things, friends, when you come out here and you do these things the way we need to do them, friends, you're going to get emotional. But that's kind of the whole point, because we're not just cleaning up a bunch of dirt, friends. This is friends, this is 2 acres of pain and sorrow. This is 2 acres of lives that were tragically cut short, friends. That lady, something tragic happened there. That was a car crash or something, friends. The mom and the 2 daughters were killed in it. Friends, what I'm saying is, you come out here, you're going to get them spiritual goosebumps. And then you're going to go home at night. You're going to feel real good about yourself, because you came out here and you did some selfless service for friends. Friends, the only reason I do the social media is because I'm trying to bring awareness that this stuff is pretty easy and we can all do it. I don't do it because I need the likes or the attention, friends. Trust me, I get enough attention when I was doing my protesting and all the other goofy manner. Friends, I did a video with the kitty cat last night. Friends, not Buddy the cat. Friends, Remy. Remy was the kitty that my wife got the children when we were separated. Friends, that cat for 15 seconds is like the most famous cat on the internet right now. That cat's like creeping up on like 13,000 views, friends. The kitty cat, not me, the kitty cat. Friends, I don't care about the views. I need to do this to show y'all that as citizens of our community, friends, I just told you, if we don't get the job done, ain't nobody ever going to get this damn job done. It ain't a damn job, friends. This is a damn good job. So, friends, I need you. We're going to put a work party together. I'm going to... Friends, I don't even know where to begin. I might just go over here and turn the cameras off and weep. Friends, look at this. Look at that man over there. Young man. 1993. This looks like another soldier over here. Maybe he never got his headstone. Somebody put a bench out here. We need to get these benches squared away. Look at that bird. What the hell's wrong with that bird? He ain't quite flying like he needs to. Friends, look at this bird over here. Somebody put some benches out here. Friends, there's benches out here. You can't sit on them because they got weeds and trees growing on them. All right, now we're getting to the older part of the cemetery. Oh, I see another veteran's headstone. Friends, let's sit on this bench real quick. I'm overwhelmed with that family. Hold on now. Holy crap, friends. We just checked for snakes, friends. I don't mess with no damn snakes, friends. Truly, I don't like the snakes. Hey, First Sergeant. Wow. I mean, oh my gosh, friends. Is that camera's got the... Hold on, let me clean it real quick. Hold on, First Sergeant. Hold on here. Hey. For those, hey, First Sergeant, I'm doing a live stream on my YouTube channel as well. Look, friends, my old First Sergeant from that first tour in Afghanistan logged on. So y'all better behave yourselves. That's First Sergeant Prescott. He's one of my spiritual mentors. He was with me through all the storms I had to go through over these last couple of years. First Sergeant, is this not this little sad, First Sergeant? This has to be maybe 2 acres, 2.5 acres. Because my father had 5 acres in Lithia. And this is about 2.5 acres, maybe 2. But friends, it's surrounded by homes. The developers could not get their hands on this little piece of land here. And I'm sure they would love to. Just like that movie, The Poltergeist, friends. That evil demonic movie. Well, the developers were so greedy. They just bulldozed over an Indian burial ground. And they just put a neighborhood there. It didn't work out good for nobody. But when you're channeling the evil, friends, listen to me. I don't believe in the ghosts and the goblins. But I certainly do believe in the devil. Friends, if you're new, I had the devil reveal himself to me by 3 of his perverted demons. They revealed themselves to me at a cemetery. Not quite one in this bad state, but it don't have to be, friends. The devil will get you at your weakest moment if you're not careful. But I was out at Lithia Baptist Church, and I had done a nice, good police call. And First Sergeant remembers this. This is when I was going through that last storm. That last storm, First Sergeant, that was the worst one. That separation from my children. And these courts, they just couldn't get enough of punishing me. For what, friends? I never broke any laws, and I don't do any domestic violence, friends. Y'all know me by now. I may have some harsh words for you, but that ain't against no law. My friends, I had 3 demons. I was out there at nighttime. It was a Friday night. I think it was like December the 20th. It was right before Christmas, my Lord and Jesus' birthday. And friends, when I'm out in the cemeteries and I'm having a moment with Jesus, and I'm going to have to do that here in a moment, friends. This place... I need to pray, friends. I need to put a plan together to get this place looking like all the other ones that we've done. This is going to take, friends, if I'm out here by myself, it's going to take me a month to get this place squared away. But it could take just a couple Saturdays with all y'all's assistance. But friends, I'm out in the cemetery. It's 8 o'clock at night, and it's way out in Lithia, friends. I mean, out in the middle of nowhere, First Sergeant. And I left all the cameras in the truck. And I took a walk, and I'm crying, and I'm mourning. And friends, it's called weeping. When you pray with Jesus, you're not supposed to do it on the live streams. I'll do it from time to time to kind of show y'all how to do it. But friends, when you have that relationship with Jesus, it has to be private. You go in your bedroom, you shut the door, then you get to work praying to Jesus, friends. That's what He commands us. But I'm out there, and I'm praying, and I'm weeping. And friends, I did something. Friends, what the hell is that over there? Go check it out. Friends, I was crying and I was asking God, Jesus, I was like, why is this happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? I mean, why does the devil keep coming after me? And I said something like, Jesus, please, I need an answer. Reveal yourself to me. And friends, I didn't hear nothing, but I felt something. You can, when you got eyes on you, and friends, somebody's watching me right now. I don't know who they are. Maybe it's someone in one of these homes, but somebody knows I'm out here and they're watching me. And they're going to continue to watch me when I in the live stream where I keep y'all rolling and I get to work. But I looked over my left shoulder, and friends, there was three glowing eyes about 8 inches off the ground, and they were zigzagging. That's all I can describe, friends. It's spiritual. And my brain's trying to make sense of what the hell I'm looking at. And I'm like, what in the world is that? And friends, I was sitting on a bench because I had just done the cemetery the day before. I did a nice police call, and I straightened up some headstones. Friends, I took 2 steps towards these eyes, and I thought maybe they were raccoons, maybe wild hogs. And then, friends, that fright got a hold of me because my brain couldn't make sense. Because when I shined my light at them, I had a little headlamp on, First Sergeant, like the one we had. I had the red light. When I shined my light over there, the eyes disappeared. and there wasn't nothing there. And then I turned it off, and there they were, friends. They disappeared in the lights when I'm explaining to you. Friends, that fight or flight took over, and I didn't have my firearm on me like I do today. It's true, friends. I'm highly trained, and I'm armed again, friends. And we're going to get all the rest of the equipment back here sometime soon. We got to wait for that Hillsborough County sheriff. We got to go through his legal. I told you, friends, it's always a doozy, but it's okay. Friends, I took 2 steps towards whatever these things were, and they didn't stop. They didn't make a sound. And friends, my fight or flight kicked in, because I knew whatever it was literally coming straight at me. And I ran probably the length of a football field, friends. I was on the other end of the cemetery, and it was very dark. And I ran, friends, as fast as I could, just like in the movies, friends. And my legs started not working, and I started almost falling. I don't know how I didn't hit a headstone or fall in a hole for a sergeant. But I got back in my truck, and I fired up the live stream. And friends, you go check it out if you don't believe me. It's on my YouTube channel. Go look at it, friends. I saw 3 demons in the cemetery. And then out of nowhere, a fog, friends. I mean, this is spiritual, is what I'm explaining to you. Demonic fog overtook the whole cemetery. And friends, I caught it on the video. That is one thing I did catch, because I got the hell out of there. I pointed the truck and the lights in the truck into the cemetery, but I would not go back out there, friends. And then God says, you get on out of there, my son. And I did. Friends, when I asked God to reveal himself to me, he did, because we understand now that God is in control of everything. So God allowed those demons, those fallen angels, friends. There's no ghost out here. If you're out here doing seances, and I better not find any remnants of that, I'll do a blessing on this place before I leave. But friends, you're not dealing with any dead or deceased friends. You're dealing with fallen angels, and they're unclean, and they hate us, friends. They hate us because they cannot go back to heaven. They've been banished from heaven. They've been kicked out of heaven. And they want to corrupt us, and they want to destroy us, friends. But they can't. They only have dominion over our thoughts, and they can influence us. But friends, it was very frightening, if I'm explaining to you. But that is the day that I completely understand that there is the spiritual realm, and it is real, because it revealed itself to me. Because the devil don't like what I'm doing. The devil wants this to be a place of doom and gloom. That way, these knuckleheads will come out here and do the seances, or maybe they'll dig up a grave and steal some bones or something. All right, friends, let's go. I know y'all don't want to just watch me. You want to go check out the cemetery. Let's go, friends. Let's keep going. Oh my gosh, friends, the staff sergeant. We got a lot of work to do out here. I told you there were soldiers out here. I got a sergeant here, Bartonfield, and I got his brother right here. Oh my goodness, friends. These guys were in Vietnam. All right, let's continue our little tour, it's a site recon. Now here's some old headstones here. 1990. Oh, friends, I got another veteran. I got 2 veterans over there. When you get good, you can spot them. Friends, I got a 5-gallon of D2 got delivered today. Oh, I'm so happy. But Miss Linnell, when you see this, please, please, please keep sending the gallon you're sending me. We got a lot of work to do. 1987. Look at this handsome couple right here, everybody. My goodness, friends. I mean, how did this happen? How in the world did this happen, friends? I don't want to get angry, because I knew about this place like a year ago, but I just wasn't up to the task yet, friends. I was still in training. Look, friends, we're going to come out here and get these trees. We're going to get these limbs trimmed up. Friends, think about this for a second. Think about your wife and your 2-3 children get in a car crash and they die. Then they get buried in a place like this. And then you come back sometime later and it looks like this. How would that make y'all feel? 1944. I know there's some old ones. Friends, I'm looking for Confederate soldiers buried out here. But I got another American. Well, friends, they're all American soldiers. I got another right here, right here. (1918) James Gravely, U.S. Army, World War II. Oh, excuse me, everybody. All right, let's continue. We're doing our little site recon. Friends, who's this? We got a lot of work to do out here, everybody. A lot of work. Oh, my goodness, friends. I mean, how in the world am I going to get all this done by myself? I think some of y'all are going to have to step it up. Get off the couch. Give up your Saturdays and come out here and help us get cleaned up, friends. Friends, I'm going to probably be out here because I might be out here the rest of the week. I told you, the way we're doing this is we're going to do the ones that need the most maintenance, like the ones like this that are just, I mean, this one's been completely forgotten about. I'm surprised that there ain't people dumping trash out here. So, friends, if I catch y'all dumping trash, I found a hole over yonder. You're going to be going down in it. Paul Stevens. Again, everybody, the whole point is to bring awareness to these little treasures, these little gems out in our communities. Because I know there's one near you. There has to be. Oh, my goodness. Oh, friends, I tell you, when you come across a child's grave, it'll really... Look at that beautiful little child right there. Friends, look at that beautiful little child. And somebody was out here recently, because I could tell, friends, that animal, a couple years maybe. So we're going to probably work... Well, we're going to get it all clean, friends. This is what we do. The Grizzly Army. Friends, the priority of task is going to be cemeteries like this that are just completely forgotten about for whatever reasons, friends. And then the priority of work is going to be veterans' headstones and then the children's headstones, friends. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get all the veterans done first, and then we're going to work on the children's graves, and then we're going to work on everybody's. So this place needs a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. I mean, I need weed whacking in here, but we got to do a good police call first. Now somebody's been out here. Those are relatively new. Look at that tree. I mean, wouldn't you just love to climb up in that tree? Friends, I would love to climb. I don't want to pull a muscle, you know, then I wouldn't be able to get my work party going on here in a little bit. So again, friends, if you just logged on here, we're doing our site recon. We found this cemetery. We kind of knew about it for a little while. But this place is the worst one that I've ever come across. I mean, absolutely the worst. (2007). I think that's the most recent grave that I found. All right, friends, we're going to walk to this other end. And then we're going to go back to the Grizzly truck and come up with a plan. I got children out here. I got soldiers out here. And I got a lot of family. I got a lot of family that y'all forgotten about. But, friends, I told you, it ain't nobody's fault. It's all our fault as a community, friends, community. Oh, friends, we're going to need some bug spray out here for real. So, friends, what I like to do first when I come to a scene, friends, again, this one's the worst one I've seen. We're going to spend a day just cleaning up all the trash. We're going to do a good police call. And I'm going to come out here with my Grizzly tractor tomorrow, and we're going to mow it as much as we can. Oh, so sad. All these little children out here. Oh, there's another veteran over here in the corner. So we're going to come out here with some trash bags. We're going to do a good police call. Friends, we're going to be out here tomorrow. I have to now. I won't be able to go home. Uh-oh. What the hell's that? There's a lizard in there. Y'all see that lizard? Friends, another thing you got to look for is homeless. You could have a lot of homeless people in places like this, but I don't know. It's kind of a hike. Well, not really, but I don't, when I see jugs like that, that's typically, but that ain't drinking water. There's a lizard in there. So here's another soldier, World War II, Navy. And somebody's having a party over there. Friends, I told you, they literally, They just built homes all around this place. So I got at least 5, I got about 10 soldiers out here. I think I found most of them. A lot of veterans, a lot of Hispanic folks. Now for something like this, friends, we're gonna spray the weed killer around it because I don't want to disturb someone's stuff. This, I don't know. I don't want to be stepping around and falling in something. But this one's going to need a lot of work, friends. I mean, this is going to be a lot of weed. We need the real heavy-duty weed whacker line. Look at this tree. Is this another veteran? Friends, I got graves all in here, all in here. This one's definitely going to be a project, for real. I got another soldier right here, everybody. Oh, my goodness, I don't want to fall in a hole. I definitely don't want to fall in a grave. Hold on. Young, Gary Young. Friends, when you come out here and you're done, you must check for the ticks, friends. I'm certain I got some ticks dropping on me because that's where they live, up in these trees. All right, I think we're about done with our little site recon. This place needs a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of children out here. But the headstones, believe it or not, don't look too bad. I mean, yeah, they need some cleaning. Friends, I don't know. Should we just... We'll just leave it to somebody else to do this, right? We don't need to come out here and do these things. I mean, I can just go back home and play some Call of Duty, right? Why would I spend my Saturday out here remembering Mr. Watson? Uh-oh. Mr. Watson. Pimbleton. He was in the Navy, everybody. You know? Friends, why should we come out here and care about these things, you know? Isn't it somebody else's responsibility? We don't own this land. Well, that's one way of thinking about these things. But here's another way of thinking about them. When you start doing some of these projects like we're doing here, and you start taking on some of these roles, well, friends, you get elevated. You become a leader. Because there ain't nobody out here doing these things. I don't do it for that. I'm just the kind of guy that if I see something that needs to be done, I'm going to sneak and get it done. And then I'll just deal with whatever I need to deal with afterwards. And again, who's gonna grab and complain about coming out here and cleaning this up? Because I'm just gonna say, well, how come you weren't out here doing it? But what do you mean, deputy? Permission? I mean, I got veterans out here. That's what I do. I clean up the veterans' headstones. Friends, I mean, I wish I can get started right now. It's just there's a lot of work to do. So everybody, we're gonna put together a work party out here in Riverview, and there's plenty of parking out here, and we'll be able to get the truck in here because that don't have a gate on it. It's just kind of shut. So we'll be able to come out here. Friends, there's a lot of weird stuff that go on in cemeteries. Sometimes you'll get I mean, there won't be any flowers anywhere. Hold on now. There won't be any new flowers anywhere. But then you'll start smelling flowers like when a service was done out here. It's weird, friends. Friends, I had a demon one day jump on my lap when I was on the tractor at Samford. It was a female's. It was like an old-timey female's perfume fragrance, and it overpowered me. I don't know, friends. Those unclean spirits, they can do a lot of tricks. So look, friends, here's another reason why we got to come out and do these things. Now, listen, I'm about to share something with y'all. I'm not trying to knock the people that do these things, but I got to kind of question why they do them. Friends, I'm down here in Tampa, Florida, and I guess recently in the news there was some people, and they went swimming. They went for a swim, friends. You know, I know a lot of us know how to swim, and some of us don't. But friends, there were some folks that went swimming down here in Tampa, friends, and they swam like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 miles, friends. I mean, that's a long ways of swimming. But friends, they claim to do it for veterans suicide prevention awareness, friends. Friends, if I'm depressed and I'm thinking about ending my life, watching you go for a swim, how is that going to help me? How are you going to bring awareness to me if I want to do the ultimate sin, friends? Again, friends, I'm trying to be good. I'm a very cynical man, if y'all hadn't figured it out. So, friends, I see all these people. They go for walks or they do this and that, all for veteran awareness, suicide prevention awareness. But what the hell are they really doing, friends? To me, I had a nice talk with my wife this morning. To me, it seems like they're doing it for themselves. Look at me, I'm swimming. Look at all the attention I get. Friends, again, I don't do none of this for attention. And I'm going to explain to you why. I started getting in the cemetery business about 2 years ago, friends. When I was going through the first iteration of the storm, when I lost my job opportunity, friends, I used to work at the Bay Pines Veterans Hospital. Y'all know that by now. And I was so unrighteously removed from my job because I'm a white Christian guy. And that Joe Biden and the Obamas, they don't like the white Christian guys because guys like me ask questions, and we're going to stand in between a sex pervert and my volunteer students, and we're going to say, oh, no, you can't show pornography to my summer students. Well, that ain't guy talk. That's perverted. You shouldn't be looking at that stuff anyways. So, friends, I started getting in the cemetery business way before I was really doing social media. I did it, I don't know. I did like 3 cemeteries before I even started bringing y'all along on this. Friends, that was my way of not slipping into the depression and relapsing in the drinking. I've been sober 3.5 years now. So, friends, when I see someone go for a little swim or they go for a little jog and they're like, well, we're doing it for veterans awareness. We're doing it. Look, be aware. Okay, I'm aware. I could see you can swim, and that's cool. But what is that doing for me? You didn't invite me to go out there swimming with you. You're swimming in the news, friends. The news made a big deal about this. And that's what, I guess, what got me upset. Because I'm a cynical guy, and I'm an analytical guy, and I'm thinking, okay, you're swimming 2 miles for what? Oh, veteran suicide prevention awareness. Again, how in the world is that going to help me from preventing me from doing that? Friends, I forgot to tell you. Friends, I work. Is there no audio? Did we do this whole live stream with no audio on the Facebook? Friends, my goodness. Friends, that's what you get when you get a cheap Chinese mic. I'm so sorry. Well, at least y'all got to see you got to see it. I'm looking at your comments, not being rude, just an observation. I know. You know, I told you I don't particularly like the social media, but you got to do it sometimes. My goodness, friends, I bought this stinking Chinese mic and it didn't even really work. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, everybody. Here's what we'll do, friends. I did the live stream. We live streamed it on Facebook, so go look up Joseph Palmer Grizzle Grits. Okay, all right. Look, you know, I'm sorry about that, everybody. There's a lady rolling up here. I'm going to see if she can get me a little intel. All right, friends, I'm so sorry about the audio. We'll do a better job next time. Let's see if this lady would like to do an interview. Hold on, I don't want to get her on the camera. She might not want to. Hey, how you doing there? You know about the cemetery here? You know there's a cemetery here, right? Well, I clean cemeteries. I live in Brandon. I found this on Google, and I just didn't know if you knew this. I got a ministry that I found this. Apparently ain't nobody to take care of it. Well, I'm getting right circle. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get all this smoke cleaned up and there, definitely. It's so sad. But this is my truck. Well, hey, let's look at your. All right, ma'am. Thank you. I'll see you. Okay, all right, friends. I'm so sorry about that. Look, we just met the lady. She lives right here. Yeah, she don't even know a lot about the cemetery. So look, friends, we're going to get to work. We got this derelict cemetery out here in Riverview, and we're going to end the live stream, friends. I'm going to get to work. I got to do a little police call. And the lady told me that a lot of people come down here and dump trash, and, you know, just real sad. So look, friends, y'all stay groovy. We'll talk to you later. Friends, I'm so sorry. I did a whole live stream on Facebook, and my mic wasn't working. These little mic. I'm trying to be a little more professional, everybody. But you know, I told you, I don't do these for the likes. My kitty cat literally is on track to be like the hottest thing on YouTube right now, friends. Go look at my kitty cat, Remy the cat. We did a video yesterday of the little racetrack, and that cat was just as goofy as she could be. And I posted a 15-minute short, and that thing's got like 20,000 views now. That's okay, friends. I'm picking up subscribers left and right. And when we get home, we're gonna do another funny cat video. But I got to get to work, friends. I got this derelict cemetery. All right, friends, y'all stay groovy. We'll be back later. Grizzle 6 out. Look for you folks on Facebook. Thanks for logging.